Good morning, Sales Academy. Followers, fans, members, lurkers, TikTokers, tweeters, Facebookers, Instagrammers, you know who you are. So today's subject, controversial or not, it's not designed to be controversial and it's not coming across from a judgment point of view. It's an observation and it's more of a questioning and a questionable point of view. Questionable? No, questioning point of view. Uh, And it came up from conversations not just with adults, not just in business, but also with a group of teenagers, literally on the weekend. And the sort of subject is anxious thoughts versus anxiety. Anxious thoughts versus anxiety. Uh, because I hear a lot of people, and I witness and I observe a lot of people jumping straight to claiming anxiety. And if somebody is suffering anxiety, it is quite debilitating. It is quite a challenging experience. It's it kind of locks us in, it pushes us in, the walls are closing in around us, all that sort of stuff. And living in that continuously, anxiety is tough. Anxious thoughts, however, we all experience, and pretty much we experience on a daily basis. There are situations like going into a crowded room, going for an interview, just having a day at work and not sure what things are going to happen at work, the journey to work, the commute, um, heading somewhere out on our own and we're not sure, from a safety point of view, whatever. There's so many everyday life things that create nervousness, fear, uh, a range of emotions related around not feeling in control, not feeling safe potentially, and those thoughts, feelings, emotions, they swim around, right? But they come and go. They come and go, and they're in that anxious thought realm where we have anxious thoughts. If we're feeling nervous, if we're feeling fearful or whatever, we have that, and that kind of we brace for impact, and we feel anxious in that moment. That is really, really different to suffering with anxiety. And it's similar to when we talk about we have low mood and we might be experiencing low mood, but low mood is not depression. And serious periods and long periods of low mood continuously lead to depression, right? But I'm just a little bit confused, and I'm happy to be educated here, right? It's like just help me understand, where is this information coming from that is literally feeding the wrong wolf, the old analogy of like you got two wolves inside of you, and one is good, one is bad, and which one's going to win? And it's like the one you feed the most. So I'm really interested because it isn't just social media. It can't just be social media. I've heard conversations that my children have had coming back from school. I've heard conversations in businesses, in well-being training sessions and things like that. So, and I repeat this, I'm not pointing the finger, I'm asking, I'm genuinely interested in, and also a little bit concerned about where this information's coming from, with what basis of knowledge and understanding, and how it's being put across, how it's being portrayed, how it's being delivered, but also how it's being received. So, and I think that's the biggest thing as a trainer and a facilitator for over 30 years. The true measure of communication is the response we get, not the one we want, right? We know this mantra, but it's like as a facilitator, you've got many, many times I've had various group sizes, and in that group, you're going to have reflectors, you're going to have internal thinkers, you're going to have action-oriented people, you're going to have very animated and expressive communicate. So you're going to have a complete range of, and dare I even say the word these days, it might offend people, a range of spectrums of emotions, behaviors, and everything in that room, learning styles, processing information, communicational modalities, different behavioral profiles, psychological profiles. So as a facilitator, you are constantly looking at transferring that information, but also checking in individually and group wise that the information's going in. Now you can do that with a range of things like tests and quizzes and just like reflection exercises. And like they're one of my favorites. I like what have you learned so far? What's them? And you're doing the simple reflection exercises built throughout the day just to check in that the information's going in, the tone, the pace. We do temperature checks in terms of how are we energy wise and all that sort of stuff. We're doing all those things as facilitators because the whole point, and I say we are, this is what we do. The whole point is we want to make sure that the purpose and the outcome of the content and the delivery and the therefore learning and the experiences and how they go and implement this is kind of done professionally and intentionally. So I'm really confused and just a little bit um, concerned about these things. So the question is, what I started with is, are you experiencing anxious thoughts or are you suffering anxiety? And that's the difference, like the big difference. And I just want to get your thoughts. So slightly different musing today, but I want to hear what you're thinking. Come and educate me. Come and share some knowledge and experience with me. I'd really, really appreciate it. Cool. Peace out, guys. See you soon.